We will now learn about a keyword called transient. Transient, T is in small letters. Transient. Now, transient is a keyword which can tell you whether you want to serialize a variable or you don't want to do it. If you have transient in a keyword, let's say you have over here transient string name, it means that the variable called name will not be serialized in your serialization program. Why we use transient? We use it for selective serialization of your attributes. When you use transient, it will not be serialized, which means obviously it cannot be deserialized. We'll see that with the help of the same example. Okay. Now we have a program, employee. I'll just run my employee serialization, deserialization, Java C serialization demo.java. I'll run it, serialization demo, which means, serialization happened. Okay. Now let me deserialize it. I'll do my Java C deserialization demo.java. Okay. And now I will run my deserialization program. Okay. Now look here. I'm getting multiple outputs because we had both e.name and the function called. Anyway, look here. I've got three fields over here, and Rajagiri and ID. Okay. So what I want you to keep in mind is this employee ID. Register that in your mind. Okay. Register that in your mind that employee ID is 123. Have it in your mind. Okay. Now let's come back to my program. Let's come back to my program. Okay. I'll just delete off this code so that things happen minimum in my SOP. Okay, now let me come back to my employee. I have employee ID, and you did see that my employee ID was 123. Okay, now I got name over here as Anne. I even got address over here as Rajagiri, and this employee ID called 123. I serialized it, and when I deserialized it, I got all these answers. I got all these answers very simple because name, address, and employee ID were serialized. I was able to deserialize it. Now, I do not want to deserialize my employee ID. So what I do is I put in a keyword over here called transient. I put in a keyword over here called transient, which means the program will be deserialized, but this particular employee ID will not be serialized. That means, when I create my object stream, this will not be saved into my object stream. This will not be saved, into the object stream. Okay. Now I'll just save my program. I'll run the same program again. Only change what I've done is employee ID, I made it transient. I'll just come back to my command prompt. I'll do all my compilings again. Java C serialization demo. Okay. I'll even do my Java C deserialization demo. Okay. I'll run my serialization program. I've run it. Serialization happened. Now here you will have a small difference when you do the deserialization. Java. Okay, now look here. Look here. Employee ID is 0. Here it was employee ID is 123. Why did employee ID come as 0? Very simple. I gave it as transient, which means serialization did not happen. Because serialization did not happen, It wasn't put into my object stream. Because there was nothing in my object stream, it couldn't be converted back. So whenever you want to do a selective serialization, here I did a selective serialization of employee ID. Simple, make it transient. That's it.